Hello.
Hi. Welcome back to Around the Block.
Yes.
Uh the one and only, not actually one and only, but one of the Tetris podcasts talking about Tetris things. I'm Renge, joined as always by Ors. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Uh, I know you
How's the
just got
vibe?
off of running the Infinite Finesse
It's
tournament
not even
divide.
done. It's still going right now. I
It
just
is
like
still going.
left.
Yes, otherwise we won't have time to finish recording this.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
but yeah, so
And here we are.
today, I mean, we didn't have a super like specific topic, but one thing that I think we can go in that I wanted to go into today because uh, well, we got a comment from Jed, who I think this is one of his big things that he always tells us to do
Every
on the
every
podcast.
time, every time we talk to him about the podcast,
So
he says
Jed's yeah,
he wants arguments.
yes. So he wants
He
us
hates
to.
us.
His question was, what is a Tetris-related subject that one of you agrees with and the other doesn't, and why?
Big
Um,
fan.
and then other questions are like, what is your controversial Tetris opinion? Like, kind of like one or the other, like which side of the board does ST and LST belong? Um,
Hmm.
that kind of thing. Uh,
So I guess we're arguing today.
we came up with a bunch of topics that we don't necessarily agree on. I think for the most part, Renj and I are pretty agreeable people, or at least can recognize when an argument isn't like. I mean, there's rarely ever like very productive arguments or very long and productive arguments. Long arguments are rarely productive, right? So it's
True.
just like a difference
Agree
of
to
opinion,
disagree.
agree to disagree, or like you just kind of like, oh yeah, I'm wrong, my bad. Like it's fine.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah,
Or says, maybe learning openers doesn't matter.
yes. So
And then I
we'll
go,
go
but
into stuff.
buddy,
Yeah,
yeah.
like I don't know. We're
Uh,
not trying to impose any opinions here, but if we had
but
to pick
I mean, we
one,
both have
we will
opinions.
disagree. And
Hmm.
let's go into the first one. Um,
Freestyle versus LST.
yes.
Actually, this came up on the Square One, like the 24-day Tetris challenge thing that I made a
Hmm.
while back. Uh, a lot of people said LST, and
Yeah. So if
I
I
don't super, I
recall,
like
yeah, well, you said something like LST is not free and it's not stylish or something.
LST LST is cool, but it is not free. It is not stylish.
So
Freestyle is just more expressive. You have more stuff.
what context are we looking at this in? Are we
I
talking
don't know. I
about
feel like
like just in general? Would you rather see someone doing freestyle or would you rather see someone doing LST?
I'd probably rather see someone do freestyle, I think. Even like as a player, I do freestyle a lot more than I do LST. Uh, but as a spectator, I feel like it's way more mm, I mean, I don't know. I feel like people will disagree with me on this, which is kind of the point. Uh, like I think LST is cool to look at until you kind of realize what they're doing, and then it's like, when's it
LSTing,
over?
like it's the same thing. I don't know what
Yeah, it's
changes.
kind of like the same. It's kind of just like
Like
the same song
freestyle
and
is
dance.
also kind of the same thing.
It's not.
I don't know,
You ever
like
seen you ever seen Blarg go crazy on the freestyle?
well, the,
Blarg also goes crazy on the
this is why I
LST.
ask, right? Like, because if we're talking about inverses, like then like what is that? What does freestyling even mean? Nobody really like past I don't know like S rank
No,
will
dude, it's
play. Are we talking about just
you
like
ever
playing like ultra or just like upstacking? Like I'm just
uh
confused on the context here.
there's a funny not I don't think he ever tweeted about it, but Jed and Firestorm constantly have the argument that Firestorm's like Ultra PB, the one that isn't PCs, is
Yes.
not freestyle because he does 7-2 stacking, which
Yes.
looks an awful lot like
LST.
LST.
What does he think
But
it is?
Firestorm says it's free. Firestorm says it's
Yeah.
free. Like he doesn't understand the fundamental difference. But I'm just saying, if you got your L, your S, and your T for too long, it's over. You're not free.
Uh,
You're in the system.
well, I mean, like, does doing an LST shape become LST in that case?
Yeah.
Even in the
Yeah.
center of your stack?
Well, no, but Firestorm wasn't doing that. You can
Yeah.
do kind of
Is it just
LST.
like against 7-2 stacking?
Yeah, I think so.
Then I don't know.
Yeah.
Like what's the
The difference is in how free you are. You know? Freestyle, you can move like the well around on your board. It's also just
that's
I
not
don't know. It's
I mean,
it's
do you
but
mean like
like if you do T spins off of like Fonzie TKI,
yes.
you're just like constantly moving your well around. I think that's way more
No,
fun
you're
than
just
doing
doing
flat top.
5-4. Like
No, I'm not doing 5-4, Oriz.
I don't
I'm
know,
really not.
like are you I guess like you Tetris and then you do something somewhere else, but like all of the different stacking patterns, it's just like
Oriz doesn't understand the difference.
I just
You heard it here
think
first.
like I don't know, like is a 6-3 PV cool then? Is
Yeah,
six
like
three
like
is
like
six
what
three?
what promo does.
Have you seen
That's
how like mechanical looking 6-3 ends up being? There's beauty in
no.
like how mechanical things look. I don't know, like if you just look at someone like do like if you see someone like the first time you see Mech TSD, it looks like beautiful, it's crazy looking. Obviously, it's the I guess you can say the problem with it is that anything like when it's repetitive is boring. But it's just like what I mean like what what there's nothing like inherently better about like doing freestyle. It's not like any more like free or stylish, I guess. It's just like you're still trying to return to known patterns. Unless you're like specifically doing a bunch of crazy donations, which isn't excluded from 7-2. Right.
I mean, I think when you do freestyle, you're way more likely to like feel uh like you should like the situations where crazy donations are good become like way more
Yeah.
common.
That's because 7-2 is much more restricted.
Exactly.
Yes.
Who wants to play restricted? Play free.
Oh, is
This
it?
is this is returning back to my core argument.
But it's like if you're more restricted, isn't it more impressive to do crazy things?
But you won't do the crazy things as often. It can be cool when you do it, but freestyle has more opportunity.
So what isn't it? But that doesn't like. Wouldn't it be cooler to do something in
Well,
a
it
place
would
where you
be, but
wouldn't have
nobody
as much?
does. Nobody does, Ors. That's
That
what it
doesn't.
is.
I don't know. What are you? I'm so like.
You're so jaded.
No, I don't know what you're. I mean, I guess I understand the. I understand it, but it's just like such a non. Like, what about like 6-3? I'm gonna return to 6-3 because I feel like it's like one of my like the offshoot of this is that I feel like 6-3 is pretty much just as mechanical as LST.
Is it? I don't think so.
Or
I mean, there are
well,
still patterns, but it's less like
yeah. It's less overt that the patterns are there, but they're there. I okay. Do you have promos like Ultra? Maybe I just haven't seen it, but like
I don't know. I watch promo sprint or I watch him do ultra every so often.
all right. Where is it? Let me
It's on
bring it up.
Tetrio.
That's
It's
not
on
Ultra.
Tetrio.
There's no Ultra mode on Tetrio.
Or it's Blitz. You know what it
That's what I'm
is.
saying.
Same difference.
Tetrio blows is bad. Okay.
All right.
Where
Whatever.
how do I pull this up? How do I pull this up?
I apologize to all our viewers on the
On the
on the
stream,
audio
on the
only
audio, it's fine. We're
platforms.
just going off on a tangent really quick.
This whole episode is kind of a tangent
Te
when you get down to it.
Tetrio, how do I look is it on like Tetra channel?
Yeah, I think so. But I don't know. I like LST. Like I'll still do it and I'll still get hype when somebody does it and it looks cool, but it's just not as like it's not as like flashy to me as a spectator when somebody does uh a strong LST. I'll be like I'll get still get hype, but it's not as cool as when somebody's doing like freestyle, like Kazu style downstack, and they're just finding T spins on the way down and keeping back to back in like a super super crazy way. That's like true. That's like the truest, freest way to style. You know?
Okay, but when you bring in garbage, there's never like a reason to do LS. There's never a reason to stick to one stacking style. Um,
Well, yeah, that's true. But given the
but then that
opportunity.
is like, okay, I don't know. It's just like freestyle is such an unspecific term. But the what I'm specifically targeting here is that people like 6-3 is like kind of like the, it's not like the epitome. It's like the most standard kind of freestyle people do. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I guess. I
Okay.
mean, I don't know. When I do freestyle, it's not like I'm like usually actively upstack. I'm like trying to use every T just like in a T spin in some way.
I've brought up the ultra. Why don't we see how unique all the patterns are here that Promo
See,
does?
look at him go. He's going
That's an
crazy.
LST shape. This is the same chip tooth shape. This is an LST shape that he wastes T on. Is this beautiful? Is this cool looking? This is the same chip tooth
Yeah.
shape. It's the same chip tooth shape. It's the same chip tooth shape. Actually, that's LST. It's the same. Like there's two patterns in 6-3. This is just a bad one. Like he just is this cool?
Yeah,
Like it's
absolutely.
cool that he's doing it fast, but like look, it's the same chip tooth shape that he just. How is this his PB? What the what? Like look, it's the same shape. It's the same chip tooth shape. It's LST shape. It's LST shape. It's a Z prop. ST stacking shape. There's three. That's my bad. There's ST stacking, but which is the basically the chip tooth shape, but you just choose a different way to solve height difference. There's three things you can do in
Or like the Diao, like the unofficial 20 TSD, you know?
yeah, is fine. But I'm just saying I'm specifically targeting 6-3. I'm not saying promo isn't cool, but I'm saying that if you think this is cool, it doesn't make sense for you to think that LST
I
isn't
didn't say
cool.
LST isn't cool. I said freestyle is more cool than LST.
That's because the term freestyle describes like 30 different kinds of stacking. So like it doesn't it's just so dumb. Like doesn't this is what I'm highlighting here. It's that it's just bias. Like it's not bias, it's just like a poorly defined term. Because I don't know.
Isn't our community just full of poorly defined terms as it is? You know?
Yes.
Also, wow, him doing this at the end is actually like super impressive. Does he find a
Yeah.
PC?
Do you know
No.
why Blitz this is why Blitz is bad, you know? Like it's literally he literally just got screwed over by gravity. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's that topic. I don't think there's
that's that.
anything more to
I
say.
don't know. I just like freestyle.
So that's the
I'm
promo.
also like
That's a
super
good. That's a
influenced
very
by
good.
Jed
Yeah.
on this one because Jed says the exact same thing.
Yes. And I don't understand what he's trying to say when he says freestyle is cool.
It is. Your mind, your third eye is just not open, Whereas,
I don't know.
anyways,
It's okay.
uh, the other kind of
I don't think we need to
gameplay
get there. Okay.
related thing is learning a lot of openers. People who know me from like different walks of the community know that apart from like being a TO, my other big thing is just knowing like I have a really really big opener vocabulary for
Yes.
honestly no reason.
Okay.
I
And
just I just think they're fun,
yes.
I
And I
think.
do like I feel like we've had this discussion
Mhm.
before, but I just want you to explain why. I don't really have like that strong of like a negative opinion on why you should do it or you should or shouldn't do it. I just wonder why you do it. Or like I
I
want you to
think it's
tell
just
people why you do it.
I think it's really I think I had a big phase of I really really wanted to learn stuff and
Mhm.
openers were very easy to learn. So I got hooked on
Yes.
like learning uh not good openers, mind you,
Just
but I just
openers.
wanted to learn more stuff. and like the 4.lol like openers page is really easy. So I would like spend some like class time. Like I would just sit in class and I'd be listening to the lecture, but I'd just be like grinding submarine, or like I'd be grinding like the sailboat DPCs just like while listening. And it's like there's a it feels good, you know, when you get there and you like finally understand how it works, and you can look at a bag and be like, I could do this one, or like I could do any opener I wanted.
Yes.
It's more options. It just feels good. It's nice. I don't know. I think it's like really it's really nice to have a big opener vocabulary, because it's like also like you understand like why an opener is good or bad generally.
I don't think you need to learn a lot of openers to do that. That's
Well,
me.
no, but it's more fun that way.
I think openers are one of the only things that you can really in-depth lab in the game, and it feels
Yeah,
good to do that. The problem
that's
is
super super
Tetris
true.
is not a game that you can in-depth lab a lot. And that's the problem. Or like where it's important to in-depth lab a lot.
Mhm.
Analysis is one thing, but okay, labbing specifically as in um like generalizing a specific specific predetermined sequences. Like there's you can lab out some like T-spin tech, like a follow-up to a certain thing that you can use on certain
Mhm.
bags. That's a thing. Um, it's always super situational though, right? Like
Yeah.
T-spin tech is super situational, or it's just for style or for flexing. Um, I think tech is good. I think it can be labbed out. I think it's definitely like not even 20% of what's useful to to practice in the game. And
Mhm.
especially I think it happens to you occasionally, Renge. Like there's some indecision on which opener to do, or like that your choice of opener will be random. I don't think you burst out any openers super duper quickly or super duper, or when you do, you tend to misdrop them in the beginning, right? Like it just like
Don't at
reduced your
me.
ability to to do a lot of to do like one opener well, to like have a ton of random openers.
I think the interesting dichotomy to me is a friend of the channel, Flush Dog, friend of the
Yes.
show, who is around my skill level. I think he's about as good as me. But he does one opener. He does Gamashiro stacking, and he only does Gamashiro stacking.
Yes.
Uh, and we've like asked him why, because like obviously I disagree with him. I think opener is like super fun, and he's just like, you know what? I just like Gamashiro. I'll just who needs more openers when you can just do one opener? I was like, you know what? Fair point.
I don't think Gamashiro is the best kind of TD opener because like oftentimes um you won't get the
Yeah,
second
I mean,
TSD, and like I don't know how I feel like it's kind of awkward to try and back to back stack on top of it if you don't get the PC.
is it? I've never really tried. I don't know Gamu that well. Like I kind of know it.
But this is something we could jump down to the bottom of the topic list.
Mhm.
I can argue for doing one opener. I feel like TD openers are like it's something that the community has become more popular right now. Has become
Mhm.
more popular within the community right now. I feel like they're just kind of like an option select for like whatever kind of opener that you want to do, right? Like
Mhm.
you can like you can like burst off of it, or like you could do a ton of opening damage off it if you just do the PC into DPC. You could kind of do it as a sustained back-to-back opener if you just like back-to-back stack after the TD, or you could use it to like counter spike by like I mean do after doing
Yeah.
you do the TD, it's like the C spin. I will use that term as well. Um,
Yeah, I mean,
then it's just
TD
like it's
openers are
good.
good.
It's like
They're good.
why do we even do? Okay, I'll start first by saying that I have like I'm not without sin here. Like I do random openers, or like the very first opener I learned was Albatross, and I have not stopped doing Albatross. I cannot stop doing Albatross. I will just
You're
do it.
just
I
there
don't know
forever.
why. It's just in my memory. I will never stop
Mhm.
doing that opener. I could try, but like I don't know. I have not tried that hard because it's like it's whatever. Openers are whatever in general. But one thing, like some, like okay, so the bottom of the topic list, which I'm jumping to, is like kind of like Joker moment opinions that like if we
Hmm.
like got through the top part of the list too fast, we'd be able to like kind of dig into these. But
But we're
I'll
talking
just
about
say
this
it.
first.
We're talking about this first. Is TKI kind of overrated?
Mm,
What do you think?
it, yeah. No, no, no. It's not. It's so good.
But
TKI is so
why is it
good.
so good?
It sends consistent pressure. You can it's like so versatile. You can go into whatever the fuck you want out of it. You can PC off of it too, which can sometimes kill. You
I think
can
TKI PC is just worse.
No, it's 6 lines instead of like 8. It's faster.
But it's less consistent, and you don't get to DPC off of it. Six line is weird.
You can do some stuff
Yeah.
off of it, off of 6 lines.
I will
You just
say
gotta
TKI's main purpose is, or like main benefit, or why it's recommended so much, I think, is for teaching. Because
Yeah,
the
it's
shapes
it's
it's
like the
made up of,
perfect beginner's
the
opener.
shape that it's made up of, this is something I was gonna make like a theory crafting Thursday on openers and talk about like whatever, but like basically like there's a specific value in TKI because it's an opener that's almost completely made up of shapes that you will actually use in the game versus like a floating opener or like an
Like Hachi spin.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
Hachi spin not a shape you're gonna see
yeah,
too
like
often.
any of the early O openers, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just like why would you like what advantage do you have doing any opener over a TD opener? There's the only argument you can make, I think, is that does it waste T.
Well, yeah, I mean it does. Yeah, that's like a big thing, I think.
Why?
I think TD openers like a lot of the time you want to get to PC, but then you can't because it wastes T, and
Yeah.
if you're like not faster, then you kind of eat shit.
Okay, I will say in slow games, it might wasting T is probably gonna matter a lot, right? Because you need to get
Mm-hmm.
that. You must get that like opening like damage. Like losing pace against an opponent in PPT is like really bad
Yeah.
because like damage matters. But in like Jstris, Tetris, obviously it's like openers barely matter, but like in terms of like a grinding the game kind of thing, like you have so many options off of a TD opener, so many consistent options. You can do Gemashirio, you can do I don't know actually about MS2. You can
You can do
do
MS2 on any bag.
you can do MS2 on any bag. You can do Gemashirio on any bag. You have a super duper you have like a basically 100% PC chance on both of them, right? And you like or you could just do like have a very clean stack that's like always the same, right? It's just like they are so consistent that it's just like is there like and this also plays off the other part where it's like don't you like the more openers you learn, the more you're technically not going to master any of them. Or like the less time you have to master any of them. It's like what's the isn't
Yeah,
it
I
isn't
mean
it
you
better to
have
just
you
do that
have
one
less
opener? You can do it every
time.
single time. Like and it's
Are
not
you
like
like
C spins
Bruce
are.
Leeing right? Are you Bruce Leeing me right now? I
I
fear
don't
not the
know.
man who has done 10,000 kicks once, but the man I fear not the man who's done 10,000 openers, but the man who's done one opener 10,000 times.
Yeah. And it's not like C spin is like an unused shape, right?
Yeah,
Right?
that's
Like
fair,
right?
but
Like I'm just
as a beginner, first as a beginner's opener, I don't think there's anything better than TKI. It teaches you so much.
I think that beginners openers also might need to like was the first opener you learned TKI.
The first opener I learned was DT.
You see? Like it's
Yeah, but that's like a society
the
thing.
problem like it's not the best beginner opener, it's the best like advanced beginner opener. You know? Like cuz the best beginner openers are ones that you can memorize easily. Right? Cuz they just feel good to do. It's just basically they're a way to help familiarize you with the controls and stuff. That was my like I remember I was practicing albatross on like EA Tetris in a school assembly, high school assembly or something. And then like I
This
don't
is
know.
Orz's Joker backstory. The
But yeah,
learned albatross became This is what doing albatross does to you, man. You know, it's terrible.
Advocate to not learn. I don't know, like,
Never learn albatross. I speak
but
doing
like,
albatross.
yeah, if I were to recommend one opener to a player, it would have to be one they could do on every bag, and it would have to be like, I don't know, like, I mean,
But
MS2
there
is
is
probably
there
fine.
MS2 is actually like kind of hard to learn though.
That's why like I
Is one
keep
thing.
not bringing this up because it kind of is against some of the points that I've made. There's like dot cannon, which is the TD opener I do because it's just super easy to learn. You literally build it the same exact way every time. The problem is that the PC chance is like 85% or something instead of 100, or like basically 100. I also don't
Hmm.
do the PC off it because like I don't know.
I mean, you don't do DPC or anything, like, cause you don't know how.
I mean, I think
Or
I
maybe you know.
looked at it once, but I don't remember it at all.
Hmm.
So it's
I don't know.
whatever.
I like. There's an argument that knowing more openers makes you bad at every particular. I think that's probably true, but in terms of like how I feel doing, I don't know. I like having a big opener vocabulary because I feel like it's just like, mm,
Yeah.
even though the options don't matter, I think it's neat that I can look at a bag and go, I could do like one of this plethora of openers that I know. I think that's just a fun feeling.
Yeah.
A lot of my like philosophy on on these things is how much fun do I have doing it. It's also like less fun to watch someone do Gamashiro over and over and over again, you know?
Yeah.
I'd rather I like seeing people do like a different opener every round because I think it's
It's
fun.
like freestyle. It's just like it's not any cooler or harder. It's just different.
Hmm. I mean, like, not to say that like I do Gamashiro and I do
Everything, pretty
uh
much. It's okay.
MS2 sometimes because I think they're fun. I also do like regular C spin opener, which is probably like the worst
Yeah,
opener I
that's the
know.
worst. Or it's just like whatever, right? Like it doesn't. It's just in this day and
It's
age.
not
Like I
good.
don't know.
It's not
Anyway,
good. It puts the well on the side.
one last thing. One last thing for why TKI is overrated. I don't know. I think I.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not. Obviously, here we're like I would have. I'm. It's not like I'm gonna like kill you for like not for doing more openers or like I've, if
Hmm.
I really wanted to like try and change your opinion, I would never stop talking about this. But obviously, you're still here. But the final closing point, I think, on opener talk, there was the opinion of I would refer to this as the Ben NXT opinion because I always because he was like when I was entering the community, he was the one who told me about it. I'm sure other people also independently came to this, but I attribute it to Ben, and it is that
Hmm.
in like a fast game like Jstris, where like openers don't really matter, right? It doesn't matter that you get pace on your opponent. Why would you ever do an opener that does not have a chance to kill your opponent? Or like doesn't have the greatest chance to kill your opponent, like doing
Hmm.
DPC or doing like I guess the greatest chance right now is doing a really fast like Gamashiro DPC, right? Cuz I mean like
Yeah, or like MS2 BPC.
yeah, that kind of thing.
Like or like in Tetris, it's like why don't you just do stick spin every
Or
bag you
like
can?
stick spin, SDPC, that kind of thing. I think SDPC is starting to kind of replace. That's not true. I don't play Tetrio very often.
SDPC is not very good,
Is it
but it
not?
is what it
Oh, okay.
is. It's bad, but everyone does it for some reason. I don't know. I think it's people who knew stick spin, but stick spin is societally frowned upon, so they turned to the opener that
I see.
uh they like is similar to the one that they know, so they just end up doing SDPC.
I see. I
But it's
see.
just it's just worse. It's just less good.
Why?
Just do
Is doesn't it
SDC
like have a
spin.
better PC chance?
I mean, it does. Like, but like you have to get to the PC like to do things with SDPC. Otherwise, you just kind of have like you have a good looking stack from single U, which is like the base opener for both SDPC and stick. But it's just like, why would you do that when you could just do stick spin and use the garbage?
Okay.
I That's actually an opinion I sort of agree with. Even though in
That doesn't
practice
then
I don't do
TKI
it.
doesn't kill or has a worse
Yeah,
chance to kill. So why is TKI overrated then?
I think a lot of people would agree with this on paper, but uh don't like I know a lot of people who will do openers for the sake of like accelerating to like a mid game or like
I think 80% of people will say to you like what is if you ask them what is the best opener, they will immediately say TKI. I would probably even say it. But like when I think about it, like why? The thing is
mhm,
like the reason I bring up the TD openers again is because like you have the option there, right? You can play it like an I will kill my opponent opener, or I could play it like I'm I'm here to like enter the mid game,
yeah.
right? It's an option select basically when you set up that first C spin, and then you get to decide. You get to decide what kind of like mid game you want to play, rather than needing a specific bag
Mhm.
to do it or needing specific RNG to do it. You literally don't even need to think off the beginning. It's whatever. It's not a big enough. It's not really a big enough like a difference for it to meaningfully impact games. Or maybe like even like a game could be a big difference. Like on average like a game. I kind of wanted okay. One thing I wanted to do in with like theory crafting Thursday was like do statistical analysis. I wanted to like look
Mhm.
at like loop openers and like how often they actually kill, that kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
Those
I
takes
think
for
that's
other time.
interesting.
Also, like I don't
Uh
know how to do the data collection, but yeah.
I was gonna say something. God. Yeah, let's just move on. I'm sure it'll come up in my head eventually.
Yes.
All right. What else? What else do we have on the docket to argue about?
Next up, we have um name changing and alts. I have had the username wars since I entered the community, and I
Mhm.
haven't changed it. I made some alts to like test things with, but nothing. Never
Nothing that
made
like
an
you
actual
actually
alt
meant to.
to like play on.
Mhm.
As a
I
known name changer and alter before the alt policy was created, what's your take?
Whoa, hold on there. Okay, first of all, I'm not that much of a serial alter. I had
Okay,
I
maybe
had
not serial
one no
alter.
hold account.
You had a
I
no hold
had
account. You had
one
a one-handed
soft drop
cat,
only account.
controller cat.
I
Soft
didn't
drop
have
only
a
was a
controller. I
thing.
never had a controller
Oh, I'm
account.
sorry. Anyway,
I just play
name
friendly line
changer.
controller.
No name changer.
No name changer. Changed my name once to I Love Selena as a bit,
Uh,
and then it stayed there for like multiple months.
yes.
Uh, I don't know. I mean, overall, I think name changing is uh probably a good thing. I mean, it's like it's another way for players to like express themselves through their tag, which is like Tetris as it is not like super a self-expression heavy game. Like it's hard to like put yourself into your gameplay.
Yes.
So having in a medium to express yourself in the game through the tag is good. I think that's a good thing.
Yes. I
Uh,
I mean like actually I'm kind of surprised that like I mean it's just like weird to have like you're removing your identifying thing. There's other mediums. Like you put stuff in your about me. You could change your profile picture.
mhm.
Like I don't I don't know.
Well, yeah,
Like
but it's like
it's just doesn't it annoying for like
all that
TOs or
stuff is.
something?
Oh yeah,
That's why. That's my
big
main
big
thing.
story. Like as a player or like as like a community member slash community leader, I think it's good. I think it's nice and it's cool. The problem comes up when I think of myself as a TO and it's like uh these people who are like constantly changing their name get very annoying to deal with when I'm like planning out
Yeah.
when I'm trying to like find seeds and I run into like small Joey and small Joey small and like the 15 variants that join my tournaments and I have to like figure out who's who. Cuz those of you who don't know, Diao and Vince HD for a while had the tags Joey small and Joey small Joey. Wait, no, the other way around. Diao was
Small
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 Joey
Joey.
small. Okay, see, this is kind of proving my point, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't think we
That I can't
disagree on
remember
this
which
one
one's
too
which.
much, but I'm just that was what it is. I don't think this
Hmm.
was a super good topic. I think we
Uh,
True. That's okay.
basically, I don't know. I feel like I mostly agree with you that there are better ways to like do that through like through
Yeah.
profile pictures and
Like we
stuff
talked
like
about
that.
team name. Like team names are different because you can
Hmm.
still see who's on the team, but it's just like, why do people go through such lengths to like further anonymize themselves on the internet? Like you're already like hiding so much, right? Why don't you like
Hmm.
let people still know it's you?
Yeah. I mean,
I
I
mean,
don't know.
I know there's like stuff associated with like recognition and the pressures of like being recognized, but like,
Hmm.
is that worth it? I don't know. It's not really something we disagree on. Like again,
Hmm.
I think we can just kind of skip over.
Yeah.
We kind of already
I don't
talked
know.
about openers already. Um,
Identifying with
I
openers.
felt yeah, we kind of touched on this before. There's like people like the politics, like people identifying with openers. I don't know. What do you
Hmm.
think about that? I don't think we'll disagree on this one too much.
Uh,
Again,
it's kind of dumb, but I still do it. Like I'll like rip on people who do hockey spin for no reason.
yeah,
Um,
it's just weird.
but
I
like
don't know.
overall, an opener is just this thing that you do. It's like
Yeah,
largely it probably doesn't matter
just
as
like
long as
other
you.
other methods of self-expression. Still, I
Hmm.
don't know. Okay, now I think we only have like spicy ones left. How are we doing on time? 36
Uh.
minutes, pretty good.
Hmm.
Okay, cool. Um,
Yeah. I mean, do you
I don't
want
know
to
which
start
one of
us
these
off
we
on
want
this
to do
one?
first.
Let's do the
I'll
top
just do
one
the
first.
top one first. My
Hmm.
opinion is we are very poorly using money and resources in this scene. Um,
Same
this
where?
definitely depends on what your defined end goal is for Tetris, but I also think we do not have a defined end goal for Tetris. Uh, what I'm talking about is stuff like we put a lot of resources into things like prize money, or like most funding just goes to prize money. We don't really put a lot of effort into like making our scene more presentable to newer folks, and a lot goes into production elements, or as opposed to, I mean, there's place for them, but I think
Hmm.
for like there's definitely a still obviously a place for like if your end goal is to reach esports or like make Tetris into a big esport, something like Square One, pouring a lot of money and resources into that is good, right?
Mm.
But like if your goal is to like bring Tetris to a wider audience, I don't, or I don't know, like people who donate money to tournaments. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe the. It's not like I feel super strongly about this. I just like, but that's all I'm saying. Like, if I had $100 and I wanted to support the Tetris community, what would like
What would you do
is
with that hundred
donating a
dollars?
hundred dollars to Team TSD the best use of the money, or like to a tournament the best use of the money? I don't know, but I think like we're not very creative with the money, with how we use money, and that is my
Mm.
thing. And
I mean, if
we
you
can sit
had that
around if you want to
money.
disagree. You can like target like why bigger prize pools might be. But I don't know. I'll let you talk.
Hmm. I mean, like, why? What would you be putting that $100 towards if not price? Like, what can you tangibly do with that $100 other than support a prize pool?
The biggest
As it is right now, which is kind of like an infrastructure problem, I guess. So we don't have like donate to.
buy like 3 webcams, send them to players. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's harder to convince someone to justify spending $100 to buy a person on the internet a webcam than it is to support like this larger conglomerate's prize
Organization, right?
pool.
But like it's just like the money that goes towards. I guess $100 is sort of a weird amount, but like I think you can
hundred
have a
dollars is
decent
about as much as
upgrade to
anybody.
like some streamer setup. You can run some like
You can definitely run a tournament on $100 budget.
yeah. The thing
I'm
is,
just
it's
saying.
just like I don't know. I think people. I don't want to. uh,
Continue, continue.
I don't want to get too into um like where resources are going, but I think we must we really need to like having big tournaments is important for the scene. I think there's nothing to disagree with that. But
Hmm.
in like supporting those tournaments, good thing. Creative uses of money, also
What
good
what
thing.
what else?
You
Yeah,
can
I
put the
mean,
money towards content. You can put them like such as other kinds of events. You can hire like editor to edit a video for you if you don't want to buy editing software or just buy editing software. You could buy keyboards, cool looking keyboards for your stream setup. You could buy there's a lot of things, you know? I think like I don't know, what do people do with their
I
like
think a
it's
lot
just
of
like
people though
the
when they
money just
donate
going towards like the same few players. I don't know.
when they donate to a prize pool, it's a lot more passive of a way to support the scene.
Yeah.
Like you're obviously it's money, so it's like it's a big thing, and like people who donate to prize pools are great. But I think a lot of people who donate aren't the people who would be streaming or like making that kind of content, because it's like
Yeah.
if they were gonna do that, they would have probably already used the money elsewhere. So like the fact that they are spending money on the prize pool is probably like their way of supporting. And I mean there's definitely something to be said about like donating that money or donating an amount of money to like buy someone a nicer webcam or a nicer microphone so that they have more opportunities to like commentate or something. But it's like again, it's just harder to tell people to rationalize to a someone who's donating, buy someone else this thing
Or
instead
not
of
even
donate
buy
money.
someone else, like buy yourself this thing and like work on the community
Hmm.
more actively. Okay, we're tiptoeing around this. Basically, we think money could be spent better, but will never tell someone who wants to support a large tournament to not support a large tournament. It's your money.
Hmm.
I like. I mean, I've donated money, like small amounts of money before, but the vast majority of my money, honestly, is just sitting in a checking account. I should probably like at least invest it or something. But like it goes towards like or like the vast majority of my effort is goes towards like putting like I guess for now it's just like putting out informational content or like this kind of thing.
Hmm.
Or just like things that I feel like will satiate the community more than like increasing a number on the screen and isn't
Hmm.
tangible to the viewers of a tournament. This is really doomer. I want people to donate to tournaments still, and I think it's a good way to support. But like, and it's a good passive way to support. I would just like people to be more active with their support of the community. I just think
Yeah, it's a bigger
it's
ask,
a
I
hard
think.
ask, hard ask.
It's a hard ask. Alcazar, you want to go to the chat real fast?
Yes, you can read the question.
Our good friend Alcazar, uh, previous guest on the channel, he writes, "Is there a possibility of promoting Tetris towards other communities? How can the money be used to actively appeal to a larger base?" Uh, we definitely thought about it. I think
I
just
could
like in our own.
pay some friends to play the game. Just pay people to play Tetris. Just like prime time. Let's go.
Did Primetime ever like attract new people, or was it like
Probably not.
was it just getting? It was just getting farmed by people who already played it, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
In an advertising sense, I don't
Yeah, like
know.
ads. Ads are a big thing. Like, what would you rather like? Yeah, you spend $100 to buy ads for Tetrio instead of like
Can Tetris be
yeah,
advertised right now?
or I guess like donating to the developer. I think is probably a more direct way to support the game.
Hmm.
Still donate to big tournaments. I'm tiptoeing around it. This is so weird. I don't know.
I mean, I'm a big donate to Oscar.
Yeah, you did buy a lot of
Uh,
supporters.
yeah. I don't know. I like the supporting OSC and like Tetris development. Uh, Mostly because I just really like the game. But I do agree that helping like the community's like infrastructure and giving more people like the means to
Actively contribute or something.
yeah, to actively contribute, or giving those people who are donating like a more tangible reason to contribute themselves in like a active like content creation or
Yeah.
tournament organizing way. That'd be cool, but
Yeah. I don't know. I tried to phrase this in a way that would be more disagreeable. My main thing with like how resources are being allocated is more about like time and more than
mhm.
money. I thought you'd maybe like disagree more with the with the prize money stuff. Like I don't know. It's fine. Um
I mean, tournaments can run on no prize money for what it's
yeah,
worth.
tournaments can run on very low amounts of prize money. Like you always bring up CTT, Kadon's Tetris
CTT
Tourney, which
gave
was just
1 month
like
of supporter, and then 3 of the best players in the world played in it. It's like,
it's just like is this
maybe
prize
they don't
money?
care about the
Like do they
money.
care? They just want to play. Everyone wants
I
to
mean,
just
I
play.
know some people do. I know some people do. Some people don't. Some people just want a game.
Yeah. Like prize money will bring out a few extra players, but
Hmm.
I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
like and even if we don't have those like one of the big arguments that we've had ever is about like bringing out like so Jed do you want to preface it? I don't remember
Yeah, sure.
exactly.
Great friend of the show, Jed, after Renge Evolution, which was in July,
It was a
August
few
of
months
last year, I
after.
think.
We were just it was just like 4 a.m. or something, and we were just talking about
Yeah.
this.
Uh it was like the night of or the night after. We were talking about it in a late night VC, and Jed said, "Why don't we just make every tournament like Renge Evolution, and we just only let X ranks participate in it? It would make way more of the top players come out, and it like tournaments would be shorter, and our lives would be great if only we just cut out all the riffraff." And then no. That
Yes.
was the terrible take on Jed, by the way. Terrible take. And why it's a terrible take is because there are so many people, and I don't actually think Jed agrees with me on this. Maybe we should have just brought Jed on. Anyways,
Yeah. We haven't been doing
um,
a good job. It's just like it's a scheduling thing. I think we've
yeah,
been so
Jed's
less
playing
like
an IFT.
upfront with like scheduling
Yeah.
these things that I would feel bad to invite a guest on, but it's okay.
Um, what was I gonna say? Jed largely doesn't particularly mind that the lower level players would be like largely getting shafted. Uh, and I think he would like for a lot of Team TSD events in particular to be like gated to X rank players. But I don't know. I don't agree with that, if only because like I had the experience of the very particular experience of running into modest early on in like an open bracket, and that's like how I'm here.
Yes,
And I
and
feel like
neither of you
robbing
would have been
people,
able to play if you.
yeah, if if Jed Jed's like Hellion Demon spawn Joker mode thing had been the case at the time, I probably wouldn't be here today. I think a lot of people wouldn't have had that like first tournament experience that like opened their eyes to the community. Cause every tournament I've ever run, there's always like an A+ rank who's like, so what do I do if I don't have a PayPal and I get to the prize money? And I have to tell them, I have to give them the hard and fast truth. We'll talk about that when you get there.
Let's go.
And then they go like 1 and 2. Um, and I think that's like a very humbling experience that every every tournament goer should have to live through at least once. And Jed was too good at the time to have. He was too good. I think that's what it boils down to from him. Is
What?
he never lived through he never lived through having to go 0 and 2 in a tournament, or like 1 and 2 in a tournament, you know?
Uh, I mean, I guess that's fair.
Never. He doesn't have the perspective that someone who's been through the gamut like me.
Yes. I don't know.
That's my spiel. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I mean his big thing is just like it's about prioritization. I agree with
Mhm.
Jed on like on a level that's like we do not have the resources to do everything, right? And like Team TSD could be like an X rank only or like invitational only tournament, but like the implicit assumption there is that what people care about is having the highest level of competition. And I don't think
Yeah.
people really care about having the highest level of competition. I think like if we really wanted to like I think my defined end goal like I opened with this. The defined end goal is to I don't know, just become more well known, to have like modern Tetris as like a game, competitive modern Tetris as a game to become more well known. And I don't
Mhm.
know, a U rank game is just as impressive to an X rank game for like 99% of people. So like I don't know, even like an S plus rank game. I showed my parents like um
You show them UC2?
I showed them UC2 the video because I just needed to make them know that like I wasn't like doing nothing online. Um
Mhm.
so I don't know. I just showed them the video and oh that's like oh these people are really good. I was like no. These are bad. These people are suck. Like
These people are awful.
but like that's it. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Mhm.
That is
I think
like yeah, so I would even go in the opposite direction and say like I don't know. Like if we just started like we don't need like it's not completely necessary to cater to top players,
Mhm.
right? Like it's to be honest, like the the weight like being a top player brings the eyes of people that are already invested in the game. They want to study your gameplay. That's why like if you want to be like well known on like Twitch or whatever, the advice people give you is like you have a few options. You can be like entertaining, you can be really really good, or you can like have some like interesting niche kind of thing to say. Um,
Mhm.
and it'll just bring you the different kinds of audiences. Like if you were all three of those things, you'd be like the best streamer ever or something. Um, and you also need to be in like the correct community or whatever. Um, I don't know. This is getting too meta. I don't think we're disagreeing anymore.
I don't know. I think if Jed were here, we'd have a maybe we'll bring Jed on sometime and we'll
Maybe.
revisit this topic with him.
Maybe like the
I
back
know.
half of the season, we'll try and bring
Yeah.
some guests on.
I know
We're almost at
I think this boils down to Jed is too good. He has never watched bad gameplay at a point where he was also bad. And he doesn't
I think
understand
he was
it.
just too good at a point where there weren't any tournaments.
Yeah. I mean like the one of the reasons that I can understand the point of a like an ec- like
TSD.
it like even a tournament for shitters can be very impressive to the untrained Tetrio eye. Like one of my like fondest Tetris times is like cheering for Ice Dynamics at the end of UC1, and
That's
I watched it
crazy.
back a while back, and they suck.
Yeah,
They're
everyone sucks
terrible.
at
They're
these
like
games.
playing like 0.9 PPS.
Wait,
But
that's so funny.
I was like, what is I he's doing what is that? He put the T upside down. He was doing C spin opener,
That's
which
so
is actually
funny.
why I do C spin
That's
opener.
so dumb. You shouldn't have watched that tournament.
I shouldn't have. But to me as like a spectator, that was still like that was so sick. I was having the time of my life. And I think I have like a very big culmination of experiences that have at the core the like the recurring theme of I used to be really, really bad. And Jed has never had that. He's never had it. Never worked an honest day in his life.
All right.
You know what?
I think
he
we're
was
good with
he
this
came out
topic.
he
We're good.
hold on.
You can't. It's all right. It's okay. You can. You can.
Jed, Jed was born in X rank. I'm just
Okay.
saying,
All right.
born top 1%.
All right.
But yeah,
That's that. I don't even know if we have room for one more topic. I don't. Are you on the dock? I don't think we need to go over this one. I think it's too hard to explain anyway.
yeah, I think that's fine.
Um,
This feels like a
I also don't feel that strongly about this anyway. Okay.
mhm.
The final big opinion. I think I also don't even know if we disagree on this one too much. I think UC coaching, despite like I will not ever disagree that it was like definitely my entry into the community and it was a very valuable experience for me. But in terms of overall value for the community, probably done more harm than good. that's my that's one of my that's a Joker
UC
opinion. That's a Joker
main
opinion.
UC
I would not.
coach
That's fine.
hates
Like
UC coaching. Heard it here first, folks.
um
Uh, I
and
don't
like
know. You want to elaborate on it a little bit?
so I've recently also like a lot of people have kind of fallen out of love with doing coaching. Um
Mm-hmm.
if you have seen the queue, I I don't know if you even check it anymore. It's like very like people haven't responded in a while. Like interest in doing coaching has always been has like kind of diminished. It's always been sort of diminished, and it's always been like a few people kind of strong arming like everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because you know schedules are hard, people just kind of lose interest in it. But I don't know. Um, I guess I'll just go
UC
to the main thing.
coaching. Oh yeah,
Oh,
go ahead. Go
sorry.
ahead. I'll bring up my thing after.
I think UC or like free coaching as a thing. First of all, it's discouraged people from being able to offer that as a free service, as a paid service, and especially with the Medify sponsorship that we got from for
From
Square
square
One,
one.
or not we did, but like that Square or we as a
Mm-hmm.
community obtained for Square One. Or no, it's I don't even want to say it. Good job, Boost. Good job, Edge. They got this. They got a Medify sponsorship. But the
Mm-hmm.
only Medify coach, Wumbo. Yep, because
Yeah.
coaching is only considered free, and I know that there are people on there, on on like on the UC coaching staff that think like yeah, like or there's people out there that think yeah, I don't think Tetris coaching should ever be paid because like it's not a big enough game for that to be a thing. It just kind of like devalues the service, right? You know, like it's
Mm-hmm.
just
The
if there's
fact
people
that
that
the free
want to do
service
that, right?
exists,
Yeah,
the
but
fact
that's
that
not the
it
main thing.
exists for free makes it less valuable. But it's like
Yeah,
I think
that's not the main thing.
having it
Sorry, you go.
exist for like between strangers and not as like between people who already know each other, it's hard to like really see any tangible improvement within like one session, right?
Yes. It
Mm-hmm.
what UC coaching has done is it's done a few things. The first is it's created a really unrealistic expectation of coaching, which is that it should be like it's like I don't know. Like I feel like when things are free, it's like there's like some like entitlement. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I haven't really seen too many of that, but like it just like it creates it's so easy to this is something Garbo was like when he did coaching, the reason he charged it, it's not because he wanted money, but it's a really easy way to filter out which people are actually serious about getting coaching and which people are like kind of just sending in a replay to be coached, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like how which people are actually serious about the game. This brings a commitment. Second is I think and this is my main thing. It's I think it's like it's just such a waste of resources again, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
if I were to coach 10 people and spend an hour each and they were all the same level, I don't think it would be there's anything meaningfully different about coaching one of them versus like if I had made like recorded the first one or made like a more focused lecture on that topic and just sent that link to all of them. Because like it's unreasonable to expect something to happen within one session, as you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. His
Yeah,
mistake.
like the
Bad.
one
Not really.
the like the whole one session thing, and then like a lot of the time the coach and the student will never like catch back up and like know about the progress along the way. I think is I don't know. We've talked about this before probably on the podcast.
Yeah. I don't
Um
think we'd really disagree on this actually then.
mhm.
And like this is stuff we've talked about
Probably.
before, which is fine. It's
I don't know.
fine.
I
This is
mean, I
kind of
like
cop out
the
episode where
UC.
we kind of just retread a bunch of things, but we kind of put it in a different frame where it's like, oh,
But what if we were arguing?
we're arguing. I don't know. We didn't really argue. We argued a lot more about the things I thought we wouldn't argue very long about. You know?
Yeah. I
Like
don't
I
know.
thought we'd kind of just say like, yep, LSTs, whatever, freestyles, whatever, openers or whatever. Well, then we kind of dug into it a bit. I'm not too dissatisfied.
um yeah. I don't know. Like what would coaching what is the ideal end game? Like do you, like now that we are here UC coaching has already happened. I feel like Metafy for Tetrio is hard, but not impossible.
Yeah, my main thing is that like I think people view coaching as the main option when it shouldn't be. I think
Mm.
making it a paid service will direct people away from it. And also because there's just not a lot of information available. People were using coaching as a way to obtain information, when really that should be made available through like videos or whatever, or like
Hmm.
other
Like
kinds of
other forms of
guides.
content.
More stuff that we've talked about before,
Hmm.
and that I'm actively trying to fix. I don't know.
Hmm.
I've been trying to post more like cuz we like quote unquote. I don't know how what we're going to do about the coaching system. Um I
Right now
don't
it's on hold, right?
It's on hold. I can't really think if until someone thinks of a good way to fix the system that we have where it's just like no regardless requests will always kind of pile up. Or I don't even know if some people don't even view that as too much of an issue. But I just kind of paused and cleared the queue. It's like whatever.
Hmm.
Right? Like I don't even think there's too many people that care. I think it's a lot of people that are just like kind of running it down and just YOLO sending something in. But it's also like, do you see how many like U ranks are there?
Yeah.
It's just like, what are you doing here? Right? Like, aren't you supposed to like? I don't know. It's just like this is it's not. This shouldn't be their community. I feel like.
Hmm.
Not that
I
I'm
mean, the UC
gatekeeping that, but
community
it's
is kind
just
of like nowadays the people who are active in the UC community are the people who were there, who were like the UC level a long time ago.
yeah. I feel like a lot of those people also left.
That's true. Or
Yeah.
like went to do their own
I feel like
things.
there's a lot of just like random U ranks who come in because there's here. It's kind of the only place you can get coaching. Um,
Hmm.
but
It's not
also
the
it's just
case.
like,
I would super. I feel like more people could benefit from just like the me style.
people
You
don't have
know, like
friends.
me from an older era.
People don't have
You
friends is also
just
a
get
problem.
schwashed, and then you ask the people who are schwashing you to help you
Yeah,
improve,
that too.
and then you build friendships from it.
Yes.
One
Yes.
exactly. That's the dream.
Okay.
Modest tomato.
All right. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
good with that. I think
I
that's
think that's a good place to stop.
a good place to stop. I feel like I didn't realize how much like I was kind of racking my brain to try and find topics. Like as I said, I think Renge and I are fairly agreeable. But I think we ended up with a lot of topics that we've already talked about as we got farther down, actually. Maybe I
Hmm.
should have talked about the other one.
Yeah,
We can
you can
talk
talk about
about it
it.
another time. We could do like another
Hmm.
episode of this where we also bring on Jed or
This is like
something.
a clipped episode, you know, and like a sitcom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I actually think this other topic is something that Jed would probably dig into. I've also like sort of discussed this with him, but I haven't.
Hmm.
I don't think we've ever fully gotten into it. Um, yep, that's it. All right.
Hmm.
Anything, anything anyone from chat wants to say before we go? Um,
Uh, I don't know.
shouting
I think
match. Yeah, I killed
definitely
Renge, but he's back.
not a shouting match.
Yeah.
No way. We don't shout.
Oh, you
We've never
you got
shouted.
asked to play your Bankai match
Yeah,
after this.
I'll play the Vonkai match
Let's get
after
some food
this.
first or something.
Mhm. All right. I think that's a good place.
Other than that, yeah, I'm down to just end
Thanks
it.
for thanks for coming, everyone. Today was a bit of a I don't know. This is about when we recorded. We were supposed to record this earlier today, but then I overslept.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. All right.
Oh yeah, thanks for coming.
Thanks for
We'll
coming,
see you next
everyone.
week.
See you all around. This will be
Bye.
up tomorrow, as usual.